Zillow says that I can get more for my house than you did. Well, where is the paperwork? Where is the data that says I can get more for my house? And Zillow definitely isn't providing that. Thank y'all for joining the Twincast. It's the podcast where business and faith are our foundation and a good laugh is always on the house. We're identical twin sisters navigating the real estate world one deal at a time. The Twincast starts now. I'm Cherie, your go-to lender helping you with all things finance. And I'm Nicole, your favorite realtor helping you find the perfect place to call home. Okay, so we are going to talk about, dun dun dun, we're going to talk about Zillow and that it's garbage. What? Yes. Okay. I mean, that's tough. I think Zillow is, I don't like it either. But I mean, we don't like it and we really just don't want you to, we just don't want you to trust it. And I say that it could be a good resource, but we're going to, in some instances, I'll give you those later. But right now, we're going to tell you 3 reasons from the lending perspective and from the listing perspective why we do not trust Zillow. Yes. So I think one of the main things to consider when you are looking to sell your home, Zillow does not actually, it does not take account of what's inside your home. So it doesn't know that you replaced the countertops and put granite. It doesn't know that you took the carpet out and put laminate, vinyl. It doesn't know that. It doesn't know that you put a pool in the backyard. So those things can add value depending on situations. So that is something that you need to talk to your agent about, not Zillow. Yeah, because your agent is going to ask you those very important questions that will determine the value of your home because that's what an appraiser will do when they go to your house. They're going to not look at just the perimeter of your house. They're going to look at the inside of your home, and the inside matters, right? In most like your heart in almost everything inside matters, you know. So inside matters. Your home is no different. In fact, it can determine thousands of dollars negatively or positively, but the truth is the truth, and you know, we just have to put it out there on the table. If you determine your value based on the perimeter, that's going to be a problem, a huge problem. So that, and then also, Zillow compares the wrong properties. Is this number 1 still or 2? We're moving to 2. Okay. Well, okay. Forgive me, Nicole. Number 2. Okay. Number 2. Number 2, we are Zillow. So Zillow compares the wrong properties. They're not taking account to school district. Oh my gosh. Now, school district is a huge deal for a lot of people. So that adds quite a bit of value depending on the school district. So one, that's that. Look at, I mean, because as far as an appraiser, they're going to look at that too. I always tell people the appraiser holds the cards, right? Like the appraiser matters. And true. And they will look at the accurate information. They're looking at MLS. They're looking at, which is the multiple listing services. They don't go to Zillow. No, of course, they cannot go to Zillow. They do not go. They don't go to Zillow, and that's why we don't go to Zillow. So that's something that, as sellers, even buyers on your side, that they need to take in consideration. The professionals don't use Zillow, right? Or Realtor.com, or Homes.com, or any other resource. We have access to the data that y'all don't, that Zillow doesn't, and so use those professionals. Location, location, location. I mean, that's in real estate. If you've heard it, even if you're not a real estate agent, you know it as a buyer or a seller, location matters. And so in this case, when you determine the value of your home, the location will matter. The real estate agent will tell you, but Zillow will not tell you that location matters. So they're going to compare homes that really don't have anything to do with one another. And that's a problem for you. So true. Okay. Forgive me. Go ahead. Okay. Number 3. Number 3. Yes. Let's hear it. Zillow does not take into account market changes. So, like in December, you know, we don't have a whole lot of people listing their house in December saying, okay, well, I want to put the home on the market now. There's people that have moved out of their homes and things like that. And that's something to consider. But as an agent, I'm not expecting, you know, to get 20 listings in the month of December. But Zillow doesn't take in account to market changes or market timing. So that's another thing obviously, that we have to consider as agents giving you a price to sell your home, or as a consumer on your side, giving numbers out. So
Mhm.
those are the three things that y'all need to consider when you're looking to use Zillow to give you numbers on anything. And we are hoping that from after this Twincast that y'all decide not to and y'all just call us. That is the hope and prayer for you and us, because our mission is to put the most money in your pocket. And I think
That goes without saying.
yes, it goes without saying, but it has to be said. What? And then it can't go without saying. No, we got to tell you this. We got to tell you this because it definitely matters, because I think people will start to interview agents, and they will say, "Well, this agent told me that I can get more for my house than you did." Or Zillow says that I can get more for my house than you did. Well, where is the paperwork? Where is the data that says I can get more for my house? And Zillow definitely isn't providing that. Realtor.com is not providing that. Homes.com is not. Trulia, whatever, those online sites are not providing that. And my voice is maybe a little elevated
It
right
is
now.
right now.
It's elevated because money, you know that. Money matters to me. It definitely is important to me, and for you guys, it's important because I
She's the
know.
numbers girl, so she's getting turned up about the
And this ain't
situation.
even my thing. This is Nicole.
This is your thing too, because people call you and they say, well, my payment, I want a $400,000 house and my payment's going to be, I want a $2,000 payment.
Wait, are you giving me the mic for my three
Okay, I'm a,
reasons?
I'm gonna pass it to you.
Okay,
Pass.
pass. Okay, I caught it. I'm going for the touchdown. Wait,
Okay.
so for y'all to go to the touchdown, to make this very simple, one, when you look at those online sites, they're not going to be accurate because one, they do not provide the loan program that we will ask you when you're going through the mortgage application. We're going to determine what type of loan we're going to do for you, whether
Mhm.
you're doing VA, FHA, conventional, whatever the USDA, whatever type of loan you're doing, we will get to that bottom line. And if we don't, I mean, if you go through Zillow.com, then they are not. They're just giving you a general, usually a conventional is what I'm seeing Zillow do, but that's not everybody is
How many people?
conventional.
I mean, you actually don't do a lot of conventional loans. Is that correct? Or is that one of your
Nicole, that is a hidden talent that you may not know about, but
I didn't know that.
yeah, because most of our buyers are VA or FHA, but there are, conventional, you need to have a certain criteria. And for a while, conventional was not as favorable because the interest rate was a little bit higher for that. And most people are monthly payment oriented. They want to know what's the cheapest down payment and cheapest monthly payment I can have. So depending, and that's another thing. If we're talking about our goals and information, we will ask you, and that will determine your loan program. Zillow's not asking you these questions. They're not giving you their expertise. So that is number one. Loan program is not considered when you're doing a online
Hmm.
determination. Okay.
Okay.
The next thing, when that payment seems off, for example, you're looking at a
Well,
400,000,
things don't seem right.
there's probably something wrong. Start
Okay.
asking the questions,
Okay.
okay?
Ask red flag.
Yeah, a flag on a play.
Okay.
There's $400,000 house, for example, and you see your monthly payment's going to be $2,200. Well, how in
I
the
want it.
heck? Yeah, you and everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But that don't seem right.
Mm.
Okay. So let's start asking the questions. Are my,
Why?
what'd you say? Why?
Why?
Because for
No, no,
30,
no.
oh, I was gonna say
Why
for
is my
30.
payment? That's the
Yes,
question.
why, girl? I thought you was gonna say why. Why would you ask? I'm like, because you're gonna be making the payment for 30 years and you're gonna be wondering what's going on. Okay, so your property taxes, your insurance, all that may or may not be included in that Zillow
Mm.
estimate that you got. So when it doesn't make sense, that's probably why, because the property taxes are like very low, or maybe the homeowners insurance is low, or maybe they didn't even include your homeowners association. Maybe there's a million things. My goodness, it's it's not accurate. Okay,
Okay.
not happening.
Not happening with you.
No, no,
Okay.
no. Number three, interest rate. Interest rate, of course, I always tell this is the first thing when somebody tells me they're looking at Zillow to determine what their monthly payment is. They're saying, Cherie, my goodness, this is so weird. You told me that my payment is 2,200 on this $400,000 house. Why did this real estate agent refer me to you? That doesn't make sense. Well, the reason why you're professional real estate agent.
If you did your due
If
diligence
you
on the.
hired the right person,
Hmm.
they referred you to a trusted mortgage lender because the mortgage lender is going to say, because Zillow is not accurate, and they're literally going to say, throw that number in the trash and let me break it down for you. Let me provide the right information so that you can be prepared for your monthly payment. Because when you use Zillow, that's not going to happen. So credit score matters, interest rate, that's going to determine how much down payment you're putting down. That matters. So that's going to affect the monthly payment. And so when we look at those three things, that's why we will say fire that Zillow person. Zillow.
Fire that Zillow.
Yeah, fire that ZillowHomes.com. And I know that it's easy and accessible. And
Yes, let's give consumers some credit here
okay.
because they are putting some effort into um, trying to find out the information. So, what I would say moving forward is instead of putting the effort to Zillow and getting you numbers that aren't very accurate, aren't accurate at all, is just put in the effort in interviewing your agents and finding the agent that you feel that you can trust. I mean, you're trusting this person with thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of
Mm-hmm.
dollars. So do the research on the agent that you're hiring to do that job. And I've mentioned time and time again that it does not matter how long you've been in this profession. As a real estate agent, I am going to be getting paid the same amount as an agent that walked out the door with their real estate license last week. So,
Mm.
that being said, I've helped hundreds of clients buy and sell. And that agent that walked out the door last week with their real estate license does not have the same
Expertise,
as,
knowledge.
as we do.
Yes.
And that's just in any profession, you're going to have someone that knows a little bit more than
I've
you do.
taken it upon myself
Okay.
to start wearing. I think we should start wearing lab coats. Like the doctors wear. I think
Can I?
that,
I want my name on it.
yeah, Dr. Nicole.
Okay. I
Yeah,
like
I,
that.
I I like it too. I
Okay.
mean, because we have been in this industry for a decade and we have helped hundreds of customers, and I feel as it is appropriate,
Okay.
and I want to do it.
Okay.
And I think that it's going to be great. Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing I want to mention as we wrap this up
Hmm.
is that, for example, to put this in perspective, if you were to go to a doctor and you told the doctor, well, doctor, I went to WebMD and WebMD says I have XYZ. What do you think that doctor is going to do?
They're not going to listen to you
They're
because
not?
they're no, they're not because you are not the professional.
You're right.
You have no knowledge, and that
No,
that's why you're at the doctor's office.
no, saying you have cancer, and the next thing you know, the doctor says you don't. Let's bring it back. We're going to give you a couple. We're going to give you this medicine. You're going to be fine. But you've already started planning your funeral. The doctor's going to take your WebMD data and they're going to throw it in the trash.
Amen.
And that's what, and in this case, that's what we will do too. We're going to take the information that you give from those online websites and we're going to throw it in the trash. 3-pointer. We're going to get a 3-pointer. That's kind of how I feel about
That's how
it.
she feels about it, folks. I'm going to listen to what you have to say, and she will listen too. But we,
I'm going to listen, but then I'm going to educate you. That's
yes,
what we'll do.
mm,
We'll listen. Well, I was going to say we listen, we don't judge, but we're going to listen and educate you. That's what we're going to do.
amen. So, that being said,
Yes.
thank y'all for joining the Twincast today. If y'all liked today's episode, which I know y'all did, so like, subscribe, and share.
If you have any questions about buying, selling, or want to be on the show, just send us a DM. Until next time, keep dreaming big, planning smart, and remember, with the right team, you hold the keys.